All right, happy Monday and welcome back to another SLG Meetup. I hope everybody is starting the week strong and with energy. That's what we like it here. Now, we are gonna have with us today a very special guest. Her name is Alessandra Meskita. She's a fashion designer and an artist that does bespoke art for luxury homes and visionary collectors. Now, her story is very unique and the concepts that she's putting into the world are out of the charts. So very excited about having her here today.
Hi.
Alessandra,
how are you?
what's going on?
Great
Good, and
to
yourself?
see you. Yeah, let me see.
Good to see you as well. I love your piece of art in the background.
It's brand new. Did you see?
Yes.
So
Is that the one you
happy.
finished on Thursday?
Hmm?
Is that the one you finished last week?
I just finished today, this morning.
Oh, today.
I'm super excited.
Oh, wow.
Yes. It's a beautiful one.
Now, I was making a quick intro about yourself. You're a fashion designer, and I'm very curious about for world-class resort lifestyle. So that's a great concept, and it's also tied up with the bespoke art that you're building and having for luxury homes and visionary collectors. So tell us a little bit about the brand that you've created, Meskita.
I launched Meskita in 2012. I was living in Manhattan in New York. And I had just left Christian Auger, that was a designer that I worked for in LA, and moved to New York. And I decided to start my own brand because at the time I was already selling a lot of high-end bespoke, and a lot of the models that I work with at Hardy were requesting some of my pieces. So I had like a lot of models walking in New York and asking for clothes. And then I did a small race, and I raised a pre-seed, and then I did a real race, and I really launched Meskita. And it exploded so fast. I was so flattered. And then during COVID,
That's phenomenal.
Funny enough, last year, I was leaving a house that I was living here in Miami, in Bay Harbor Island, and I got a request for somebody that was buying the home to buy half of my arts collection. And I sold it, and then that interior designer introduced me to another interior designer that like ordered 8 pieces out the door. And it's been 1 year exactly, and quite often an incredible journey.
I'm very fascinated with your story, and I'm sure those that are listening as well, because you obviously were building yourself a personal brand along with a professional brand. So it's all kind of tied together. So let me ask you this question, because a lot of people that started to do business with you, you started with fashion design. You were creating these pieces of clothes. And now from there, they started to ask for more things, such as art, because you like to paint. So I guess you were building that trust with your clientele and your circle, which have helped you extend your product line. So how important has been for you to build your personal brand?
It's been an incredible journey, super, super important. You have to have courage, and you really have to put yourself out.
How do you get yourself towards this specific niche of wealthy individuals?
It started word to mouth, funny enough. And with fashion, I'll tell you, the first time I saw a dress, I was 15 years old. It was one of the first dresses I had made, and I made for myself. And then a friend of mine asked me to make her a dress, and then her friend asked me to make a dress. And at the time, I had an atelier in my house, and my mother taught me how to cut and sew. She used to make her own clothes, so did my 2 grandmothers. And then I think at age 16, 17, I started working with a tailor that had an atelier close to my house. It was my first tailor, and she did a lot of bespoke work for high-end clients then. And I just modernized her style, and I brought like my own family were my first buyers and my first clients, and it just expanded like this.
So when we focus on, let's say, homes, how does art combine with the value of homes?
I think because of my background as a fashion designer, and as like when I'm creating a collection, I see the whole picture rather than just one dress, and I want that dress to flow with the whole presentation, with the whole collection. When I'm designing, I put a whole runway show in my mind first. I create a whole visual board of a runway show, and I did this for my own house. So it was quite of a big home in the Harbor Island here in Miami, and it had like a big space. There were like 4 big living rooms with like an outdoor area and 5 bedrooms, and I wanted the art to flow with the furniture. So I developed and I designed a few furniture pieces from scratch, and I created the whole flow between arts pieces, and I had to use different techniques. So the whole space was dressed well and had a whole feeling to it. And the clients that I have been working with also, like my first client was a house in Old Fort Bay in Bahamas. That's a very luxurious area.
Very luxurious area, yeah.
And Nassau. And I want to thank those clients, Eliane and Alessandra Santana. They were my push. They were my very first bespoke clients in arts. And initially they opened their home. The whole decor was made by Tatiana. Thank you, Tati, again for hiring me as an interior designer. She had done a few of their homes, and most of the furniture was artefato. And they come and they say, listen, Ali, we have a space. They also had like a big combined living room, so there are like 4 spaces inside the house, and then one massive gathering space outdoors. And they initially ordered 6 art pieces.
There you go.
Massive pieces, so it was super interesting to start creating for them. And then I shipped 2 massive crates to Bahamas, and I sent 9 pieces because I created more. I always have this thing, I create more than the client asked, and I wanted to see more pieces in the space, and they ended up keeping 8. So
that's phenomenal.
It was really flattering.
You also have a phenomenal social media platform where you have massive following. You also have great content. How does social media help you with your business and your brand?
Most of my clients, if not 100% of my clients, come today from social media. It's very interesting. I started with social media when I got a big following when I did the New York Fashion Week for a few seasons in a row. And back then I was definitely advertising more and getting into press, and magazines were writing about me. So it's being...
That's important. And I think that's very clever, right? To leverage your accomplishments and what you're doing in social media, because it's easier to share, to spread the word. And when it comes to social media, is there a specific platform that you prefer?
I definitely prefer Instagram. I run my own Instagram, so I get a lot of DMs and a lot of requests. I try to answer all of them. It's
you should do a live doing, one of your pieces. I'm sure people will be fascinated.
That's a great idea. I would love to do that. I can definitely do that.
We'll do it. How about that? We'll do it in a nice home with a nice setup, and then we'll have a camera recording, so everybody that cannot come to the house, they can watch it live. There you go.
You help me. I would love that.
Let's make that happen. Okay. All right. Now, Alessandra, you've obviously been surrounded by what a lot of people will call luxury. But what is really luxury to you?
I think uniqueness. I like perfect craftsmanship, best finishing. The aesthetic flow is very important, how the colors go together. I think you can see luxury in a lot of things, in the way you behave, the way you dress, the way you speak, the music you listen to. So I think it's a conglomerate.
A combination. It's so nice to hear what an artist like yourself has to say about luxury, because, I've heard so many different answers to this question, and you come from a more creative, inspirational background. So to hear your answer is very flattering. So very nice. Thank you. Now,
Thank you.
Alessandra, you've done pretty much everything, but what's ahead for Meskita? Are there any specific projects that you are currently putting major attention on?
I'm so excited. I cannot share everything yet, but I'm definitely raising again to put a new team in place to relaunch the fashion side of my business. Now I want to combine fashion with art, so I'm creating two lines. One line of fashion that's gonna reflect this work, another line that's gonna reflect the Meskita girls. I want to create a solid base and a structure like a family. I would love to be more on the creative side and the visuals, and have somebody run the business for me and get with the distribution, with the logistics, with the financial side of things. So today I just had a call with somebody very, very dear to my heart.
There you go.
Yes, it's very, very into creating that as well. I have a dream to create my next runway show, to make a big thing where I'm also creating art, or have a collection that is a reflection of my collection of arts. So it will be the first time that I'm creating arts collection first, and then create the pieces based on the feeling of the art. And I would like to have a presentation, sort of like a runway show, where I can showcase both works. It's very fun.
That's very exciting, and I love to hear that from you with such a big smile, because for those that have dreams, there's nothing more fulfilling than surround ourselves with those that have that positive attitude. And that's one of the questions I have for yourself. What are some of the takeaways for the dreamers out there?
Just do it. You know, just do it. Do one dress at a time, do an art piece at a time, do one at a time. I feel like nowadays most of my friends that want to start clothing lines, or they like fashion, or they like other things, they usually do not start because of fear of not getting there. Just do what you love right now, today. So when I create an art piece, I'm not thinking about who's gonna buy, how much you're gonna sell it for. I'm just doing it because it's dear to me and my heart, and I want to do it. Same when I make a dress. I usually create the first dress for myself, and then my friends start asking for it, and then you have showroom representing, and then department stores want it. But that's how I started in the first place, and that's the direction I'm taking it again right now. You know, just live step by step, day by day. You'll be able to make connections and solve a problem at a time. Right?
I love that. No, that's very inspirational, and I think that exactly it's what a lot of people are lacking nowadays, which is either they don't have the dream or they don't have the power to take action. So I think the combination is what makes people like yourself successful. So I'm very excited about the story, and definitely looking forward to connect soon, because I'm sure that there's a lot of things that we can do. But what can we do, us, Super Luxury Group, the people listening? How can we help you become, you know, that person that you're dreaming of? I mean, for sure, everybody follow you. I mean, that's a given. But what else? Is there anything that we can do?
I would love to do lives together. I would love to paint at events together. I would love to maybe do a collection, an exclusive collection, and share with your network and with my network. We can plan so many things. I mean, I love meeting you personally, and you're incredible. You're super chic and super fun, super smart. So just let's throw ideas at each other and make them happen. And you also move super fast, and so I like that.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Ha.
Do it.
But no, thank you so much again for your time. I don't know if there's anything else that we didn't touch base that you would like to share before we wrap this up.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me here. I'm super happy.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. I know you're busy. You're working on a lot of projects, so we'll let you go. Thanks again for being part of our SLG Meetup, and I'm sure that everybody that was tuning in really enjoyed the conversation. So thanks again,
Thank
Alessandra,
you. Have
and
a
we'll see each other
blessed
soon.